So guys, hi to everybody. I hope you can see me well. Everything. Sorry, I have the water. And then need that. I didn't into glass. So, how are you? I hope you are doing great, guys. So, just give me a second. I'm gonna check it out also if the live stream is working. So thank God I made it in time. Perfect. Hello everyone. Let's earn and learn together. Today, guys, on the live stream, we are not trading. We're not trading. It's just a learning live stream. We're gonna have a presentation right now as well. I'm gonna also do a text so everybody know about that. Hey, today is a learning live stream and we don't trade here. We will have trading session soon in VIP. So here it is. Everybody knows about that because also on the YouTube there is a pretty big delay of like 15 seconds. So it's better not to open any trades when you're just watching a live stream just because it's a pretty big delay again. So yeah. So, hello everyone. Hi, Miss. Hi, everyone. I'm new here. What's up? Okay, perfect. Hi. Hello, guys. Nice meeting you all. Nice to meet you too. Good. Okay, perfect. So, guys, today we have a pretty interesting topic about top 5 mistakes that keep you stuck in losses. But first of all, I'm still gonna, trade a little bit. I'm just gonna probably open a trade for like 5 minutes while we're talking, and after we're gonna check it out if we close it or not. Here's a pretty good one, Australian Canadian dollar. I'm gonna open it for 5 minutes here. Here, as you can see the trade, because it was a downward trend before, now it looks like the start of the upward. We can see it also by the indicators, by the MACD, zigzag as well. Here also before I had moving averages. As we can see, two lines of moving average crossing each other, going up in the same direction. It's the first buy signal, right? But the zigzag also, we can see the direction of the trend upward. And by the Bollinger Bands, we can see that the price is in the channel, but at the same time, it's achieving and crossing the upper line of the Bollinger Bands, showing that actually the buyers is pretty strong to break the levels every time. And on the MACD, we can see also the last pin bars is green color. As you can see, this like kind of the candles, they are above the zero level. It's another buy signal. Two lines of MACD crossing each other, going up in the same direction as well. That is it. Perfect. So but I have something prepared for you guys. So it is here. So let's just open it. We have a presentation today. Now I really like to do it because, wait a second. Yeah, like this. Because I think it's giving more information systematically, and for kind of a long time, I'm already doing the live streams, for like 4 years, and my YouTube and everything. And I always wanted to try this kind of the format with the presentation where we're going to talk about some topic step by step. That's why, and that's what for the live streams on Thursday created for learning. Because, on my YouTube channel, I have the strategies, I have this. Every video is about different topic, and it's usually 10-15 minutes. And I think in 10-15 minutes, sometimes it's really hard to understand fundamental knowledges and fundamental rules about trading that you need to know. So that's why I decided to make this kind of the learning live streams on Thursdays on YouTube. So that's how you also know more. Because usually on the live streams, I'm just like talking, I'm just showing you some trades, explaining why I enter. But actually, I think we need to talk more about the fundamental things again. How to join VIP channel. You can follow the link in the description of this video, and there you will find my main channel. You can check it out first. You can also come to my test trading session that I do every Wednesday in my main channel. For example, it was yesterday, so you can come the next week. So that's how you test the signals first. You check it out how all this work, and after you already go to the VIP, and it's free, by the way. It's absolutely free. Now, by the way, it's a lot of the fake channels, guys, so please be careful. Only follow the link in the description of this video. It's my only one official Telegram channel. Only one. There's more than 130,000 subscribers. So please check it out if you subscribe to official channel, because In Telegram, it's pretty normal thing actually that people create the fake channels and everything, unfortunately. And Telegram is not doing that much about that because, in Telegram, there's even worse thing happening and nobody blocking this kind of the channels because there's like, you have a free word to say anything, to post anything, nobody gonna block you. And it's kind of bad because, the rules is not working as they should. And for example, if some people stealing your content, they're still doing this. It's just impossible to block their account. Any fee for VIP channel? No, there's no fee. There's nothing. It's absolutely free. So if you also see somebody saying that, oh, the VIP channel is, you need to pay and something, this is a fake channel, guys. I never take any money from my subscribers. So we're going to talk about top 5 mistakes that cause you to constantly blow your deposit. I think this is a pretty important topic that I wanted to talk for a long time. So that's why we're going to talk about this today. So first of all, no statistically tested system. So most traders believe they have a strategy, but in reality, they have a collection of observations and intuitive entries. Because, it looks like a reversal, seems like a breakout, area size oversold, so it must go up. And this is not a system, of course, because as we can see, for example, let's come back to the chart. For example, here, by the way, we have 36 seconds till the end of the trade, and as we can see, it's kind of reversed, so we just needed to take actually less time to open here a trade. But let's check it out, for example, some other situations. For example, here a lot of people would enter on the sell because they can see there's a red candles, it's going downward already for the few candles for now, so I need to open a sell trade. But if we'll see that, okay, this is the resistance level, right, where the price is reversed, but there is a support level. So of course you can open, but you don't have that much time and distance till the previous support level. Of course, the price can also break this level. We didn't close this trade, by the way, we're gonna open another one. Of course, the price can go lower till this level, and that would be a good idea to open here a sell trade. But still, the entry point here right now on the sell for 3, 4, 5 minutes or something is not really great idea, because we also can see there's the shadows on the lower of the candles, like the lower wicks. As we can see, there's a green candle also appearing in the chart. Maybe the support level is gonna even create right now here, because we can see the second green candle. So if you would open here a sell trade, you already have the lose, definitely. So you don't need to think that, the indicator is showing that it's oversold. It's definitely gonna go up, because when it's oversold, the price is going to reverse in a different direction. No, it's not. Sometimes if we turn on, for example, the RSI can be in the overbought or oversold zone for a really long time if the trend is strong. So let's check it out, some situation, for example. Here we cannot find it. For example, here we can see it was the upward trend for a pretty long time, and we can see that the RSI was oversold from 1032. I have the UTC plus 0, by the way, the time zone, you can also change it, 1032 to 1052. For 20 minutes, it was an overbought zone. So a lot of people would think that it's definitely gonna reverse now. And also we can see some red pin bars on the MACD and everything. But as we know, sometimes the indicator is giving you false signals, and it's not because they're bad or something. They actually built on the structure of the market. And especially MACD indicator is pretty sensitive, and it's giving you all of the noise of the chart. As we can see here, it was already red pin bars, but the price was still not reversing. And as you can see, it's still right now going in the upward direction, but it was still showing us that, for example, the pin bars is below the 0 level, they're red color, so it's kind of sell signal. And as we can see also by the RSI, that the price was going out of the overbought zone, start going in the downward direction. So a lot of people would enter here on sell, but actually, what is the mistake? We can see here only 2 red candles. We needed to wait for at least the third one to see if it's actually going to be a continuation of the trend. So a lot of people just looking at one indicator, or they look like, oh, it's kind of red candle, it's having big red body, it's definitely going to be a reversal, but it's not working always like that. So you need to confirm from all of the things that you see on the market, levels, market structure, candlestick patterns, shadows, more. A lot of the things. And indicators also, again, they're based on the price, and sometimes they're late. Most of the time they're late, actually. Even the sensitive indicator as the MACD, or they can make you go really wrong. For example, as you think here that it's going to be a sell trade, but you don't look at the structure of the market. It's not that confirmed and a really great reversal signal. So it's better not to enter yet. So let's check it out. Some other currency pair. I'm also like choosing pretty fastly. So that's how we will be able to talk about everything that we have to talk about. For example, here, let's check it out, this currency pair, right? Downward trend mostly. We can see it also by the zigzag, but we see a lot of the corrections inside of the chart. 4 candles, 2 candles, 2 candles. And now after 3, 4 red candles, we can have it again. So what kind of the conclusion we made on this currency pair? We don't enter because there is no consistent trend, definitely. So that's why we're changing it to something else. Here, for example, okay, downward trend, yeah, but the next support level is here. We kind of close, better not to enter. Let's find something. It's a lot of the currency pairs, so it's better to check it out, all of them, than to enter on some that are not that confident and consistent as you may have. For example, Euro/USD, pretty great. I'm gonna open here sell trade for 5 minutes. Why? It's a downward trend, yes, going for a long time. I don't like this kind of the situation mostly, but at the same time, it's giving us consistent downward trend right now. Yeah, we can see also a lot of the corrections and everything. That's why we use 5 minutes time of the expiration, not like 1 or 2. So in case of some corrections, for example, like this, we still have a time for our price to reverse in the direction that we need. Also, one of the disadvantage of this kind of the situation, like Euro USD now, was a pretty long downward trend that going for already 1.5 hours, something like this, right? Even a little bit more actually, because here we just had some upward move just for a few candles after it continues moving in the downward direction. So the disadvantage is that we don't know when is the reversal gonna happen, because now it's not giving us any sense of the reversal, right? So we need to follow the trend, because this is the most common strategy that a lot of traders actually used. Follow the trend, not going against it if you don't see any signs. But at the same time, we can have a reversal at any moment. So it's better to enter on the situation when it's just the start of the trend, or we are in the middle of the trend. We see that we didn't achieve the previous support and resistance levels. There's not that much volatility, corrections, and that's how you see, okay, this one is pretty good, right? So definitely taking notes. Okay, perfect. Thank you. Watching from Philippines. Sorry, I'm gonna open. I don't know how to open every time like on the same page. But anyway, one of your bots tell me $99 for joining the VIP channel. I say that this is a fake channels, guys. Please follow only official link. It is in the description of this video. You can find all of the official links only in my YouTube, because you know on the YouTube they cannot make a fake channel, thank God, and making also like, I don't know, the live streams or something. So please follow only my official link in the description of this video. Also in every video actually on my YouTube, I always leave the link to my official channel, so please check it out. I never take any money from my subscribers, guys, and the ones that for me with me for a long time, they know that everything is absolutely free that I'm doing. So sad I'm going to miss live. Why stay you need to go. How do one join VIP channel? You need to go on the description in the description of this video. There's a link to my main channel, or actually you can also find the link to the pocket option. It's the second link, as you can see here, for example. I don't know if you see that or not. So the first one is Telegram, but also subscribe there, because I post there a lot of the free useful information about trading every day. And also the second one is the pocket option, so you can create the account there. Also please do a verification, definitely, so that's how your account is safe. And after, you can also text me about that. So that's how it's gonna be easier. The requires to join the VIP Club channel. It is free. Again, it is absolutely free, zero. But you need to register on Pocket Option by my link. And also you need to make any deposit that you want, that you're comfortable with, that you understand, okay, I can trade with that. Some of the people start with $10, $15, but honestly, I think you also understand that if you start with $10, $15, there's a catch-up system, money management system as well. So that's how you need to use like 1% of your deposit per trade. And if you're gonna have $10 on your balance and you're gonna use $1 per trade, that means that you're using 10% of your balance. So it's not that great, right? So in the best case, the perfect, I think, amount of money to start with is $50 or $100, because that's how you can follow the catch-up system and money management system strictly. You use 1% of your deposit, you have $100, you trade with $1 per trade. That's how, for example, if you don't close a trade in the plus, you open either the next trade for the same amount of money, for example, $1, right? Is the strategy with the fixed amount of money that you just used. Even though, for example, you didn't close the previous trade, you open the next one for the same amount of money. Yeah, you just cover your losses this way. And after, you just come back to your previous deposit, right? Like, you're not gaining after this kind of the trade. But at the same time, this is more easier and this is more less riskful. So that's how you can also, grow your account without like doubling up your amount by every trade. Because, for example, the catch-up system idea is that if you don't close the first trade for $1, you open the next one for $2. So that's how you can cover your losses, still have a profit. It also works. But I always say about two different strategies that you can have: fixed amount of money or catch-up system. And in the different days, you can behave differently. For example, at some points, if I see that the market is pretty good, I can do the catch-up because I'm sure that I'm going to close this trade. If I'm not, I can open the trade for the same amount of money than the previous one. So that's how I minimize my risk and I just cover my losses. That's it. Yeah, it's going to be more longer to achieve some kind of the result, but at the same time, it's more stable because now the market, honestly, not in its best condition, because we know it's a lot of the news happening in crypto about the Bitcoin, about Trump, about the world, the countries and everything. So that's why it's kind of fluctuating the market, definitely. So that's why I'm saying, guys, please never risk more than 1%, never. But actually, a lot of people still make this mistake and they're like, oh, but everything's gonna be fine with me. I'm gonna use 5-10%. We're gonna talk about that, by the way, per trade. Everything is gonna be fine. I know better. But actually, guys, believe me, nobody knows better. Even me, sometimes, after already some time when I was trading, I already know the basics. I was trading pretty good. But the moment when I start increasing my amount of money per trade, everything falls apart because you feel a big responsibility because like you're using 5 or 10% of your deposit per trade and you don't have that much room for a mistake. If you don't close a trade, you need to double your amount of money per trade. For example, it's going to be already not 10%, but 20% of your deposit. So that's how, if you don't close the second trade, you're going to have how much? Minus 30% of your balance for just two trades. Can you imagine? Minus 30% of your balance. So please, it's better to use 1% of your balance. Yes, it's going to be much more longer way. Yes, you're not going to have plus 100% to your deposit every day. But honestly, it's unrealistic number. So it's better to have plus 5% to your deposit every day. So that's how, for example, if you trade 20 days in a month, right? Because we take like 5 days in a week, not the weekends. You're gonna make how much? You're gonna already have 5 on 20 plus 100% to your deposit in a month. That is a realistic number, not plus 100%, in a day, in one evening, in 1 hour. It's possible, but for this kind of the numbers, like plus 100% to your deposit, need to have really, really big deposit. And actually, when you just start, I don't recommend to start with a big deposit because it's bigger responsibility, because you're going to be emotional, definitely. Deposit the $10 amount, but I can join the VIP channel. Well, you already did that or something. Even if you deposited $10, I'm still gonna give you the access to the channel. But again, I'm always telling about all of the consequences that could be if you trade with $10. I was just saying that before, that if you trade with $10 and you're using $1 per trade, it's 10% of your deposit. That's kind of a lot. So if you have 3 losing trades, you already have 7, and it's gonna be really hard to cover all of the losses actually. So we were talking about no statistically tested system, right? That a lot of people is like, oh, it looks like a reversal or something without confirmation from a lot of the things on the market. So a real system includes clearly identified entry conditions, also fixed expiration time, right? Also clear filtering criteria, a trend, market phase, volatility, a trading journal. Also pretty cool thing, especially when you just start, and at least 100-200 test trades with a measurable win rate. So when you just find some system, what do? You go to the demo account. You don't go to the real account firstly. When you just start, I'm always saying also to my subscribers, if you start trading with me, for example, right? Even if it's just following the signals, right? A lot of people think that, oh, I'm gonna do it really easily just to follow the signals, but no, it's actually not. You need to also understand what's going on in the market. That's why I'm doing all of this learning, live streams, videos and everything. So you will not just blindly follow my signals, but you also understand what's going on. And for example, on my voice trading session, I try to explain all of the situations, why we enter here, what happened in the market now, and more and more. For example, on the regular trading session, when I'm doing not in the voice format, of course, I cannot like text, about all of the situation. Sometimes I do voice messages, but anyway. So that's how you also understand the market. You're not just blindly opening the trades. I understand that some of the people maybe just, came here to just click at the buttons and follow the trades without understanding what's going on. But I always wanted to create a community that wants to learn, that wants to grow, that wants to understand what's going on also in the market, and also understand the idea and analyzing of all of the trades. A few doublings with small capital and we're bankrupt. That's what I'm talking about. That's what, it's sad to think about that. Of course, I understand, but at the same time, that kind of makes sense. For example, it's like in life. If you want to lose 10 kilograms in a month, but you're thinking like, damn, but I don't have that much time for workouts, and actually I don't want to work out, I'm too lazy. So I'm just gonna invest only 5 minutes or 10 minutes per day to walk. And I hope I'm gonna lose 10 kilograms, right? 5-10 minutes of walk. Do you think you're gonna lose 10 kilograms if you're gonna do 5 or 10 minutes of walk in a day and all of the rest day you're just sitting at the couch? I don't think so. So it's like in life. How much you invest, the much you also will get. And it's all about the time you invest, the knowledges that you invest there. Also all of your, how do I say that? All of your passion, right? Ambitious and everything. So if you're gonna invest in the gym, for example, 1 hour, 2 hours per day, okay, you can lose 10 kilograms actually, but also if you eat properly, right? So it's everything about the nuances, the little ones. So for example, you need to eat this and this you don't need to eat. And at the same time, you need to spend 1-2 hours in the gym. So it's already more difficult here. Of course, it's more difficult here, but at the same time, it's going to give you better results, right? So that's how it works every time in life. You invest your time, you invest your passion there, your energy and everything, and you get the result more. I love your honesty. Thank you. Wish you were more people like you. Thank you so much. Thank you. I love it. I'm so happy that it's helping you, and I'm always trying to say everything how I think. Sometimes like I filter what I say, but at the same time, that's why I'm telling everything how it actually is, because I don't have any goal to sell you something, because it's a lot of the traders in the YouTube or somewhere else, and I'm not judging anybody, because everybody making the money how they can. But at the same time, I'm not selling anything. And that's the main reason. Like, I don't have to say that, oh, this strategy is better, or this is better, or I know what I'm talking about. Or for example, you can have plus 100% to your deposit because of my system, so buy my course. Because I don't have any course, guys. So that's why I'm never telling about like some strict thing that, oh, you need to do only this. And I'm always saying that a lot of people have a different mindsets. You have a different personality. So what works for you is not going to work for anybody else. I'm also saying that, trading is not for everybody. Like, for example, running is not for everybody. For example, I hate to run. Like go at 7 a.m, waking up, go on the run. After you're tired, you cannot breathe. I hate to run. But I have a friend and she likes to run every day. And I'm like, how you do that? She's like, I don't know, I just love it. And for example, I like to go to gym. I like the yoga and everything. So you need to find what works for you as well. For some of the people need to also understand that and explain it to yourself. Do you really like it? Or you just want to make it only for the money? Because if it's only for the money, it's not gonna work, honestly. You need to have a passion. You need to have ambitious. You need to have this kind of the goal that, oh, I want to know that. I want to actually learn. I don't want just blindly opening a signals. I want to learn by myself, right? So only with this kind of the mindset and personality, you're gonna achieve something. Because nobody in trading making some really good results just like following someone's trades or something else. Because again, you can make it. You can make it if you are consistent in everything. But at the same time, the basics is really important. It's really important that you actually like it and you're not making only it for the money. Because here, as in any different other area in the industry, you're going to have losers, you're going to have wins, you're going to have bad days, good days, or just normal days. And the only one people that stays here is the one that actually likes it. So I already talk about all of the different things. So let me also continue what we were talking about here. I don't have that much. I hope it's not gonna. I think I'm just gonna do it like that. So we're talking about that, about the real system and what it includes. So if your win rate is 55%, it's also pretty important, guys. Go to your profile and check it out, your win rate. There you can see how many trades you made for some period of time and what is your win rate. And the broker pays you 80%. You are already on the edge of breaking mathematically. So one emotional mistake and you are negative. So without real statistic, you don't know whether you even have a mathematical age. So please always check it out, what kind of the statistic that you have. You can all see it on the platform actually. Just choose the period of the time that you want to check it out to see how much you trade you have, how much profitable trades, losing trades, your win rates and more. So the main illusion here is I can feel the market, but the market does not respond to your feelings, unfortunately. It's mathematical and it's strategic, if we can say it like that. So after trading without market context, it's the second mistake. So on M1 time frame, which most traders use, market phase is critical. So if there is an impulse or continuation, logic makes sense. If there is accumulation, trend and trace start producing false signals, right? If there's accumulation, beginners trade the same way in every condition. So what is the typical behavior? They see the level, they enter. They see pin bar, they enter. They see EMA crossover, they enter. And, just because they see some red candle appearing on the chart or a few candles in a row appearing on the chart in the upward direction. So they think, it's definitely going to be, the upward trend right now and I'm going to close my buy trades. But without understanding the higher time frame direction, the structure of highs and lows, also the strength of the previous impulse, and the presence of news events, if you also trade by the news. So the result is a series of almost correct entries. And the idea was right, but the phase was wrong. So if you cannot distinguish impulse, correction, and consolidation, you are trading randomness. By the way, on one of the live stream, I was also explaining all of these ways. What is the impulse? What is the correction, consolidation? But I'm also, I think, going to make another live stream about that with some specified examples. So after, the third one is poor risk management, right? We were talking about that already. So this is where most deposits disappear, unfortunately. So mistake number one is using martingale without proper mathematical calculation. Mistake number two, risking 10 or 20% of the deposit in one trade. So what is the simple math? 4 loses in a row at 10% risk per trade. We're not calculating that you're doubling your trade every time. You're using just 10% for every trade and you lose half of your account, 40%. And after that, emotional trading begins. You think, but I can get it back. Now I'm going to open another trade. I see a pretty good situation. But the best thing you can do in this is just to stop. It's just to stop and continue the other day. So a professional approach is 1 or 2% risk per trade, as what we're talking about. But in the best case, actually, it's better to use 1%. Also, daily loss limit. I was saying this in one of my YouTube video recently, that you can put yourself a daily loss limit. For example, if you see that you lost 10% of your deposit, you stop. Or for example, 20%, you absolutely stop. It's you don't need to trying to negotiate with yourself but I see a pretty good situation right now, I can open here. No, you already start thinking emotionally, thinking that you can recover it all and you see a good situation without analyzing it properly. When you losing a trade, 2-3 trades, you start seeing a bit differently, and it's absolutely normal. It's just psychology. You start seeing what actually not existing. You're thinking that this is the uptrend, but actually you don't notice the corrections, the for example, upper lower wicks on the candles. You don't see the volatility or something because you're trying not to see that. You're trying to convince yourself that this is a pretty good situation when it's not. So it's better to do a daily loss limit, for example, 10 or 20%. If you lose this amount of money, you just stop. Emotional trading is real. Yeah, I know about that. That's why I'm talking about this that much, because I get a lot of the questions about that. And stopping trading after losing fixed percent of your deposit. This is what actually we were talking about. So this is the same. So if you cannot stop if you cannot stop, please actually text me if you can or not. It's pretty interesting to know. The issue is not your strategy, it is your discipline, and it's your mindset that telling you that, oh no, you need to go, you don't need to give up and everything. But actually, the best thing that you can do sometimes, it's not like you're giving up, actually, it's just to stop. It's just to accept, okay, that you were wrong, that today is not the day. You made minus 10% of your deposit, for example, and you're just gonna continue tomorrow. The life is not ending at this point. So you can just continue right after that, on the next day or in a few days, when you already don't feel this emotional things in your head. So the fourth one, trading from emotion instead of the plan. That's what we're gonna talk about as well. So it's FOMO, fear of losing also the opportunity. They argue to recover losses. Adrenaline, for example, these are not side effects. They are the main cause of failure, right? So you miss a good entry, you start chasing. You take a loss, you want to prove you were right. You are in a profit, you increase size because the trade continues, and you're gonna make even more because you're short in this trade more. But if you don't have strict rules for when to enter, when not to enter, when to stop for the day, you gradually turn trading into gambling. So you need to make for yourself some rules. First of all, you choose your strategy, right? Because there's a different types of trading. You can trade with short-term, middle-term, and long-term trades. For example, I trade with short-term trades because I feel comfortable with that, but it doesn't mean that it's gonna work for you as well. Because for example, I'm the person that making the decisions pretty fastly, and it's not like, oh, it's better and it's cool and everything. No, I just like to make decisions pretty fast, and in case of something, after the 5 minutes, if I don't close the trade, I can make another decision. So that's how I don't sit like that in front of the laptop for 30 minutes, for 1 hour waiting for my trade to close, and after I don't close it, it means that I just lost 1 hour of my day. So for me, it's much more easier to trade with the short term. I see the result right away, and after I continue trading. But for example, if you don't feel like you're can make this kind of decision pretty fastly, you can choose for yourself middle trading. For example, trading with 10, 15, 20 minutes per trade. So that's how you can catch this kind of the trend, and you can feel yourself more confidently and calmly, not seeing all of this kind of the fluctuations, because the short-term trading is kind of stressful. It's much more stressful than any other types of trading, definitely, because here again, on your emotions, you mostly do the entries, and that's one of the biggest thing. So if you feel like you need more time for analyzing, for opening a trade, you also can wait, like you have this kind of the temper, and you don't need to rush. You can choose for yourself middle trading, for example, and you understand also, okay, I'm not entering against the trend, right? That's how I do. For example, I'm never entering against the trend, only if I see the correction, I see the reversal or something, and I'm opening at the start of the reversal. But I'm never gonna enter against the trend in the middle of the upward trend, for example. For me, this is no. Some of the people I know, they trade against the trend. It's fine because they catch just kind of the correction, especially in the short term. For me, this is not the case, actually. I would better wait. I would better, find situation with consistent upward or downward trend and just gonna follow the trend. That's it. Also, for example, I understand that I don't enter in the sideways market when there's no trend. I know some people also trading in the sideways market when there's no trend, literally our price in just one range, and they can just trade. For example, there's like 3 candles down, 3 candles up, 3 candles down, 3 candles up. On this, with the short term, you also can trade, but I don't choose it for myself because it's kind of riskful also, and it's nervous, actually. Like, you always think, oh, where it's gonna go. Also, the price can break this level at some point, and after there's gonna be a strong trend, so it's also not that consistent and confident as I want it to be, right? And also, you understand when you stop for the day. For example, I trade for like 1 hour. Sometimes I trade for 40, 50 minutes. Understand that, okay, I'm already tired. I don't feel like I want to trade. I don't see that many situations that I want to trade on. So I'm just stopping. I'm not trying to, look till the end for the good situation because I need to trade for 1 more hour. No, I'm not trying to convince myself that I need to sit 5 hours in front of the laptop trading just nonstop. So you also need to put yourself some limits. Like, for example, as a workout, also in the gym, you say yourself that, okay, I'm gonna trade, I'm gonna have a workout for 1 hour, and that's it. If you're gonna have a workout for 5 hours every day, you're gonna be done, definitely. So when should I stop if you say to enter with at least $100 and play Guys, we don't play. It's not the gameplay. Do 1%, and by following your signals, if we had 6 months again steps, there's nothing left in. I was saying that in the start of the video. Of course, there's a martingale system, right? It's not me that created that. It's one of the strategy that could work. I was saying that if you don't want to risk that much, if you're not sure yet in the signals in the market or something else, especially if you're not trading by yourself, you can use a different type of strategy. For example, you always use fixed amount of money. For example, your first trade is $10, but you didn't close it. You open the next trade for $10 again, or maybe for just a little bit more, because the maximum payout is 92%, right? So that's how you just cover your losses, and you just come back to the previous deposit that you had. And it's more longer way, of course, because you need to open after other trade to close it in the profit, to be in the profit, right? But at the same time, it's more unriskful strategy. It's minimizing the risk, so you can use that. And nobody's saying that you need to use martingale system only. But I'm saying that if you use martingale system, you need to use 6 steps rule, right? That the first trade is, for example, $1, the next one is $2, then $4, then $8, then $16, then $32, right? But at the same time, nobody's saying that you need to use that. Definitely. If you're sure in the trade, if you're sure in the signal, if you're sure in the situation in the market, you can see it also by your own eyes, because you're also learning, you're understanding that, okay, it could be a good situation. But at the same time, in this right now situation in the world that's going on, in the crypto, in the market, I was making the videos about that. I would not recommend mostly to use martingale system right now. And I'm always saying that also in my voice trading sessions. When I see that I can enter on the situation and I can double it up, and I'm not scary to double up, for example, right? And I'm pretty sure in this situation I can do that. But at the same time, if at some situation I see that it's kind of riskful, I'm always telling you also that in the chat and the Telegram, that guys, please don't need to double your amount of money per trade. It's better to use the fixed amount of money. How much investment minimum to start option trading? The best one is 100. The best one is 100 if you're not ready yet to start with this amount. Of course, you can start with less, but also need to understand that you are gonna make the result is longer and longer, and you just need to promise yourself that you're not gonna use more than 1% of your deposit, because I know that a lot of people, they just start with $50, for example, because they use only $1 per trade. So that's how, for example, for one trading session, they gain just +$6, +$9, and they kind of tired of this kind of the small profits. So they start increasing their amount of money per trade, right? So that's what comes to the losers. So if you are deciding to trade with this amount of money, $50, for example, you make yourself a promise that you're not gonna increase your amount of money per trade. You use was $1 per trade. That's it, with a fixed amount of money. Yeah, it's gonna be long. Probably it's gonna take weeks and weeks, but at the same time, that's how you also learn how to trade. You don't have emotional trading, and you also have some temper for that. Is martingale the same as the ketchup system? Yes. I just call it the other word, so that's how it's easier to maybe remember that, because martingale system, it's kind of different. So after the fifth one, the last mistake that I want to talk about is failure to adapt to changing market conditions. So one of the most underestimated reasons for consistent losses is applying the same model in every market environment. So the market is not static. It constantly changes, right? Day by day. It's volatility, the nature of impulses, the depth of corrections, the speed of movement, and the reaction to the key levels. So a strategy that works well in high volatility begins to produce a series of false entries in a compressed market. Also, a model that performs in a clear trend completely breaks down in consolidation. And yet most traders keep forcing the same logic even when the environment has shifted. So a typical scenario, right? For 3-4 days, everything works. You see it on the chart. You're trading pretty good. Then the market changed and a losing streak begins, right? And instead of analyzing conditions on the market, what's going on, what happened, you conclude the strategy stopped working, or it's just not my day. In reality, you failed to adapt to new conditions. And it's either you adapting to these new conditions, you changing your strategy, time of the expiration, time frame, the currency pair, something else, everything. You need to change everything. Either you just don't trade at this market. But a lot of people, of course, they still continue trading every day, even though they see that, something is not working, their strategy not working, because they're not adapting to changing market conditions. And they're like, oh, Oh, trading is hard. But I can understand you because, for example, now since the start of 2026, market changed a lot. A lot. There's more volatility appeared, fluctuations, a lot of the situation with not a clear trend because again it's a lot of the news in the world that affecting of course the market really really much. So that's why I need to change right now all of the strategies, how you trade and everything. And of course, we're always trying to do that. But at the same time, of course, sometimes it's not that easy how it sounds like. After, on M1 time frame, but it's also like M2, M3 time frame, like short ones, this becomes especially critical because short expirations amplify the impact of declining volatility, also random micro movements, also news driven spikes. So if you don't have clear criteria for when the strategy is active, when it should be turned off, which conditions are unfavorable, and how to detect a shift in market phase, then you are effectively trading blind. For example, when you can see that there's a lot of the corrections and fluctuations on the currency pair, you still continue trading on the M1 time frame with time of the expiration of 1 minute? Of course not. If you see a lot of the corrections, you use at least 5 minutes time of the expiration because that's how you can miss all of these fluctuations and still, close the trade because it's just gonna reverse in the direction that you need. It probably. But that's how you have more chances to close the trade. With 1 minute, you have a big risk to check and to get this kind of the fluctuations, and you're definitely not gonna close the trade in the plus. So a professional approach is not just an entry system. It is a system for activating and deactivating the strategy. So most accounts are blown not because the model is inherently bad, but because the trader does not understand under which conditions it has an edge and under which it does not. So now the question, can you clearly define the specific market conditions where your strategy stops working? Or do you keep trading until your account balance tells you something has changed? So again, it's all about knowledge, about the basics, knowing the levels, the candlestick patterns, how to understand if there's volatility or not, and more and more and more. There's so many things that you need to learn, but at the same time it's good, because it's so many new knowledges that you can get, and actually absolutely for free. There's so much information on the YouTube, guys. Don't need to buy anybody's course. I was learning also, of course I was buying course when I just started, but actually I get more information from the researching, from reading the books, from reading the articles, from watching the videos. And now, especially when we have the AI that can say you a lot of the things, actually, it's such a big world, you can just ask the AI about every question that you think about and it's just gonna give you the answer. So of course, we definitely need to use that. So guys, a lot of people came to option trade thinking rich, fast him, and end up losing even they have a guidance. Why? Because again, this is actually the answer inside of your question, because a lot of people came thinking about trading as the rich, fast scheme. It's not rich, fast scheme. If it would be, that fast, easy, giving a lot of the money, everybody would do that. But it's actually not that easy, of course. So we need to understand that in everything that you do, you still need to invest a lot of your time, energy, knowledges, and more and more. Binary futures, crypto, forex, no matter which you pick, it takes time to trade and understand candle psychology. That's true. Why? You'd be like, we're starting in 10 minutes in VIP, 3 hours later we see the results of trading while I'm still waiting. Me or just I'm tripping? No. All this time? Just sometimes. What do you mean? What do you mean? We're starting in 10 minutes, 3 hours later we see your results of trading while I'm still waiting. What do you mean? You're still waiting where? Well, I'm posting... you mean that, for example, in the main channel, I'm sending the notification, but this is notification from the VIP that in 10 minutes I'm going to start a trading session there in the VIP Club channel. Of course, it's a different channel. And I'm just sending this notification from the VIP Club channel. You can see that it's from the other channel to the main one, so everybody would see that, because of course there's more people there, and so the people also that inside of the VIP, they can understand that okay, in 10 minutes it's gonna be there, because a lot of people have the notification muted. So, and after because it's trading session not in the main channel but in the VIP, so that's why. And after I'm just sharing the results. So guys, in 8 minutes, we're gonna start a trading session in the VIP, not in the main channel. So yeah, so I'm gonna wait for all of you there. I remind you, this is absolutely free. The link's in the description of this video, so please guys check it out. And I love you all. Thank you so much that you joined today. You were really active. You asked me a lot of the questions. So I love you all. I'm gonna get ready for the trading session now. I'm gonna check it